Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Neurotic News. We took some time off as Rathy went to Edinburgh, and long story short is we're back, and we plan to do a lot more episodes because we've received a lot of positive feedback.
Positive feedback loop.
The positive feedback loop. I wanted to say this actually before, because I've got a series out. Everyone who's listening would know this anyway, because they probably follow our social media stuff respectively. But I've got a series out that I did. So if you're listening to this, it's available freely on YouTube. It's a link to it on my website. It's on my Instagram. It's a full hour-length 6-episode series that I did with like Aaron Gox, Becky Lucas, Henry Stone, Cameron James, Mel Buttle, like a whole cast of people, and they're like 6 short films, comedy films. There's this character I do that's an American wellness conspiracy theorist freak. You've watched it, haven't you, Rathy?
Yeah, it's great. It's because that character is the character of our time.
Yeah.
Wellness conspiracy.
Yeah,
like
it's
Wim
true.
Hof.
Like Wim Hof, yeah. Wim Hof, yeah. Because, yeah, it's weird how they kind of overlap, don't they? The conspiracy thing. Because Wim Hof, because I do need to clarify this, because he isn't as famous as I thought. Wim Hof is a wellness expert who his wife perished, and inspired by that, he got into cold plunges and extreme cold water, including bathing in the Arctic, and he set up a series of exercises to do with cold bathing and breathing.
That help heart.
Helps heart rate, helps immune system, helps wellness through ice and breathing.
There's another wellness guy called Wim Hof.
Right.
And he goes into saunas and tells people that being gay will make you live longer.
Right, yeah.
And he's a pest. But yeah, it's like, he basically says that, his wife died as well.
Right.
But having to deal with the trauma of that led him to develop a breathing technique so that he can tolerate having his ass pummeled.
Right, yeah. Wim Hof.
Another wellness
So he goes
guy.
to saunas and gets pummeled, or encourages men to pummel him.
Yes.
Because he says that getting your ass pummeled
It's good for your heart rate.
Is good for your heart rate and so on.
Lowers your blood
so
pressure.
Wim Hof is ice bars and Rim Hof is
saunas. Well, that's where
that's where getting your ass pummeled.
That's where he lurks.
Right.
He's got a podcast as well, but you can see him.
He's got an app.
It's like when Wim Hof runs seminars in ice baths. This guy kind of just comes into saunas and he'll be like, have you ever heard of getting your ass pummeled is good for your immune system?
It sounds like he might be a predator who's just hoping to get his ass pummeled by convincing people that it's good for their blood pressure.
I prefer to see him as a wellness entrepreneur, but self-made.
Rim Hof.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we kicked off the podcast with that. Well, this is fucked up to say, but wellness is really a big thing for white women.
Yeah,
I think.
I feel like white women have taken so much from old Indian men.
Right.
Like rich white women have taken so much from old Indian men.
I see what you mean.
Namaste memes.
Yoga.
Spices.
Meditation.
Tantric sex.
Certain supplements. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
ancient Indian culture has been really culturally appropriated by white women for sure. And others, but.
Yeah. All I'm saying is like, if you're in the lotus position sipping a turmeric spice latte, leave some room in your gratitude diary for Guru Desh and the boys.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like just pencil them in. Like it was nice to be able to wake up today and see the sun rise, and I'm hashtag blessed, and thanks Sandeep as well.
We don't see enough, you don't see them thanking them when they're doing the salute to the sun or whatever.
Yeah.
Because obviously they've taken a lot from them, and I've never seen once, I've never seen a yoga class even with an Indian dude in it.
Yeah, they'll get an Uber to the class.
Yeah.
So they'll have Guru Desh is driving to the yoga studio.
Right,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
But then they're like, 1 star.
Right.
1 star because he took the wrong turn.
Yeah.
Now I'm late for my flying lotus position or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, the
fuck it's
crouching tigers. Yeah.
Crouching tiger tarantula pose.
Yeah.
We have to go backwards.
Yeah, you have to go backwards. And it's funny because Indian men love white women.
Famously. And I think it's interesting they invented a technique, yoga, which rich white women use to become more attractive and therefore more unattainable.
They're getting perfect posture. They're getting perfect muscle tone. They're flexible. They're losing weight. They're looking more and more attractive. That's why they do it.
It's the widening of the wealth gap.
It's the widening of the gap. They're getting further away from being attainable.
It's like if a lion designed a drug that made gazelles run faster.
Right. But it doesn't go the other way.
No.
Like as in like Indian men, you know, getting into yoga and their cultural heritage does not attract white women.
Yeah, if a rich white woman sees, you know, Sandeep doing a downward dog, she feels nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
She's like, sorry, there was an item missing.
Yeah.
Like, where do I complain?
Yeah. Where's your square box? And has it got my Massaman curry?
Yeah.
know?
They don't want that cube on their back to unfurl a yoga mat.
Right. In their front yard. Why
Yeah.
Sandeep in my front yard?
Yeah.
Doing yoga.
Yeah, there's a Sandeep in my yard.
Sandeep's doing the most flexible.
He's going backwards.
He's doing the most flexible yoga stuff you've ever seen.
Like he's literally a circle.
He's literally a circle, but what do? As a white woman, you come out there and go, excuse me, I want this item's missing. Or whatever, because you just assume Uber Eats immediately.
Yeah, or are you my Uber to my yoga class? It's like, I'm doing yoga.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care. I need to do it.
My name's Lisa and I don't care.
Yeah.
I say to low-fat yogurt, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't eat curry, but I'll do the flexible stuff.
It's cultural
'Cause I'm in
appropriation.
ketosis.
It's cultural appropriation at its worst. Here's a theory for you. White people in Australia, now I'm happy to be corrected here, get scammed more than any other group of people
Yeah.
on the planet.
Elder abuse.
Yeah, old boomers, man.
Yeah.
Per capita, I think get scammed more in Australia than, and I think, and that's white Australians. I clarify white Australians because I think Indigenous people are just like, yeah, we're not, the whole thing is a scam. Like, you know, like they're just like, this whole thing's a scam. They're not falling for that shit.
Yeah.
But for white people that of the boomer generation that are getting a text like, this is the, or they get a phone call like, hello, this is the Australian government president who need to send passport.
Yeah.
They're like, yep, that's fine. The government's always done us right. The system works. Here's my passport, Rashad.
Yeah.
Scammed.
It's their first scam of their life. They should be grateful, really.
Right, I see what you mean. They've had a
80.
great run.
Yeah.
They didn't get ripped off and stuff. So that's why they get scammed so much, is because they're like, everything always works out. When I deal with links and government and bureaucracies always favoured me.
Every link I've clicked on has led to an outcome that's favourable to my life.
And now they do it and they get hacked.
Yeah.
And, it, you know, if you get hacked and, you know, I've been hacked and it just sent porn out to all my closest friends and family and loved ones.
Yeah.
Like Auntie Ma got a gangbang.
Yeah.
How do you know, and it's got that weird text like, this pussy hot, crazy, fuck. And it's just got icons and shit.
Dollar
and
signs and stuff.
Yeah. Wet the water one. You know, they always put the water one in the eggplant and stuff. Crazy, fuck, pussy, hot as shit, MILF. And just like, eggplant, water.
To everyone.
Yeah, Auntie Ma got that. She's 80. She got that. I know she got it, but we can't. Like, how do you? She just acts weird at Christmas. She's like, hello. Like, got that weird look, like, hello.
You can't broach it.
You can see the fucking gangbang behind her eyes. I know you saw it.
Yeah.
I know you saw the gangbang Auntie Ma with the Africans and everything.
There's like a gangbang glaze on her retina.
Yeah.
When she talks to you.
Yeah, you can see it. I can clock it, but we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
How would you talk about it? You can't bring it up because she's fucking 80, man. She doesn't get how the internet works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't pull her aside. You can't pull your elderly relative aside and go, look, I know I sent you a gangbang and, you know, I just want you to know that wasn't me. That was how I was hacked.
Yeah, you can't be like, look, there's a lot of digital weirdness going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
Like I've had similar, like I printed out my affirmations because it's good to have like a physical copy.
For the gratitude,
Yeah,
like
like-
affirmations, like positivity,
Like you can do it, never give up. I was in a dark place. Like,
right.
When
Yeah.
you're printing that document,
Right.
it's not your best
Yeah,
moment.
right. You're not printing a document. You're like, I'm on top at the moment. I might just really knuckle down and just reaffirm.
I can't have these affirmations just be on the computer. I
Right.
need to like hold them.
I
and,
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cradle them.
Mm.
And
Sleep with them and so on.
Yeah. And
Shit.
then it didn't come out of my printer, but it Bluetoothed to my girlfriend's work printer.
Mm.
And her boss, it came out and the boss saw the affirmations and thought it was someone who was working at the company, like a last ditch attempt to boost morale
Wow.
because it's like about to go into receivership.
That's how does that happen? So you went to print it
Yeah.
from home and it wirelessly printed
Yeah. To
at your girlfriend's work, which
Yeah.
is about to go under, and the boss just happened to pull it out of the printer and thought it was a local employee in the building printing affirmations for the business. And he put it on the fridge door.
He put it on the fridge with a magnet. So no one's told him yet that it's my gratitude journal
Right.
because it's literally like never give up.
Mm.
Like it's not over till it's over.
It's nice to think that your mental health is collapse. Your mental, if I may be so bold,
Yeah.
is to call it a mental health collapse. I never thought
Crisis.
of it.
Yeah.
Because people say crisis, you don't think of collapse, do you?
It is a collapse.
It feels more like a collapse to me.
Yeah.
Not just your one, my one too, but like just it's a mental health collapse, like an economy collapses.
My spirit animal is just 9/11, just the buildings
Yeah,
falling.
yeah.
But yeah, it's but it's interesting, yeah, that my mental health collapse is fueling a company.
Right, yeah.
Like people are seeing the sign going, yeah, I shouldn't give up as they open the fridge to get their tuna sandwich.
Yeah, it's nice to see it have a positive benefit.
Yeah, it's
It's
incredible that my affirmations are so general
right.
that they can be applied. Like he's created his own narrative, where he's like, this is about the company.
Right. So there wasn't any specific ones like, why can't I get an erection or something like that?
Yeah. That was on the second page, which they must have ran out of paper.
Because that's why they're going into receivership. You got to fix that shit up.
Yeah, it's like I
Yeah.
have to stop like eating dishwasher tablets. Like it's not there.
Because it
Because
must
then
have
he'd
been
be like, this is someone. This is a personal
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But this is like never give up.
Yeah, because it can't be like I will not hate myself today and eat 4 tubs of ice cream as a way of self-soothing. Because people be like, what? What's this got to? But yours must have been like, I am happy. Things are going well. Everything will look up.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will be a better day.
I remember every crisis is an opportunity was on it.
Wow.
So of course that's like, oh, we're going into receivership and we're gonna have to be taken over by another company.
Does it make you feel bad that your gratitude things were so broad? Do you kind of look at that and go, fuck, there's something wrong with me here where I should have affirmations that someone can't pin to the fridge of a failing company?
Yeah, it did make me think, be more specific with your mental illness. Be
Right.
more like,
Right.
people are talking about you. There is a secret WhatsApp group that's trying to bring you down. Like be more specific so that they're like, this isn't about PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Right, yeah. Well, it shouldn't be it should be distinguishable, shouldn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to be that general that like someone who watches Ted Lasso is like, yeah, this is for the company. But there's a lot of digital weirdness like just going around, I find.
Was that what you said? Was that on the podcast that you said that you saw like a dude on a Lime scooter? No, you saw someone on a penny farthing with
a Lime scooter
a
helmet.
helmet, and then someone on a Lime scooter.
Well, I was on a Lime bike without a helmet.
Right.
And there was a dude on a penny farthing with a Lime helmet.
Right, and you just thought that was a strange mixed match.
It's just it's the type of thing you see these days. Though. That's just normal shit. Like I saw a
Glitch in the Matrix.
I saw
type stuff.
a lady wearing full high vis, and then she had like she'd embroidered a patch of Baby Yoda. So that's the kind of thing you'll see.
Yeah, nonsense, weird, like kind of like the simulation is sort of just generating random. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
just
we'll chuck this one in.
Yeah, It's gunning towards the end of the algorithm of the simulation.
It reminds me of that idea of that, like non-playable characters. Like they're just the side people in the quest.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what when I see someone wearing full high vis and an embroidered Baby Yoda.
That's a non-playable character.
There's no way they have a rich inner life. Do you know what I mean?
They're not a complicated hero character.
Yeah. They're just like, I will watch Ted Lasso and do meal prep.
Meal prep and Ted Lasso do make sense as a character trait.
Yeah.
For someone who's very organised and lives a 9-to-5 life, I suppose.
Yeah.
To an extent.
It's not, you don't want like the chef at a restaurant, you don't want their favourite show to be Ted Lasso.
Right, I see.
You want them to have like a traumatic.
They're suffering.
Yeah,
right.
Because they're not going to have that attention to detail with the hors d'oeuvres.
You want someone to have struggle, and that's the best artist. That's what you're saying, isn't it? The struggle, the pain.
Yeah,
because I am seething with bitterness.
Yeah,
as a comedian, with no money and just there's a lot of uncertainty and precariousness. And it's completely uncertain what will come of your life as a comedian. Unless, of course, you're just rich and successful. But that's where the bitterness comes from. You go, well, I work harder and I do this and this and this and this. Why don't I get that? And that's probably the wrong way to think about it. But there is a part of you that I think you get power from bitterness where you're just like, fuck you. It's a bit of a fuck you thing to bitterness.
Yeah.
Because you stop wanting to be liked.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty close to just, like I'm, I that's why when I look at, Darth Vader, the Emperor, I'm like, maybe I think they were the good ones.
That's the shift from childhood to adulthood, isn't it? You shift from empathizing with
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, Obi-Wan and Luke to like, Senator Palpatine, I get it.
If only I could electrocute people.
Well,
that promoter in Perth.
Yeah, totally. That's, you just put the face on.
Yeah, charcoal.
Yeah.
I'll charcoal you cunt.
I'll make you into charcoal. I'm going to make some aromas out of you.
Because you think about...
like you start going, like, I get it. Like Senator Palpatine is like he's a burns victim as well.
Yeah, people don't think of him
as a
hood.
Burns. Like he's like, please don't look at it.
Yeah.
And people are like, man, what happened to your face?
A Jedi
like,
burnt his face. He's a burn victim from a Jedi.
He's been disrespected.
By a Jedi. Electrocuted him. Used his electricity against him, I think. And it burned his face. He's a burns victim. And he's running around, seething with bitterness, going, something dark.
He's not dating anymore.
He's not dating.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's done with that. He's post that.
Yeah.
Like he can just, all he can feel is frustration and like, fuck, it's something, my face is fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
that's why when I see Anakin Skywalker, the famous scene where they battle and Obi-Wan goes, don't do it in the lava and shit.
Yeah.
And that's when he becomes, he cuts off all his arms and legs and he's still crawling up the fucking bank of the river of lava going, I'm still coming for you, you fucking dog. Yeah. He's still going for him and Obi-Wan's just like, this is done. You're fucking psycho, and leaves.
Yeah.
In his nice uniform and all that. It looks, clean cut. Well, this cunt's crawling, no arms, no legs, burned, just seething with bitterness. And I'm like, that's the dude that I respect.
Yeah.
He's still not giving up.
I respect Emperor Palpatine because
that's Bukowski.
Yeah.
That's who Bukowski's the guy cleaning up the bank, going against all odds and how much everyone's fucked me. I'm still crawling up the bank of a lava river.
Like crawling up.
Crawling, burning, suffering.
Quadruple amputee, just crawling.
Writing a poem.
Screeching with rage.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you bring up the dating app thing. I mean, I won't do dating apps because what I've learned is that dating apps are designed to keep you on the dating apps.
Yeah.
It's a
business.
For business. That's their giant conglomerates that are interested in keeping as many people on their apps as possible.
You're so right. What business would be designed around losing a customer as the goal?
Right.
You can't do that in business class.
Well, Hinge, for example, it says designed to be deleted. No, it's not. No product is like, Designed so you never have to buy another car. Designed so you never have to,
My psychologist said that. She's like, my job is to lose you as a customer. I'm like, is it? Because I noticed you're driving a Tesla. So I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
You're not losing too many customers, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not fixing too many people.
Can you imagine going to Coles and they're like, our job is to lose you as a customer because that helps if you go to Aldi instead.
Yeah. Your psychologist is trying to keep you. So just when you start feeling better, he's like, yeah, that's a strange shirt you're wearing there today. I mean, I hope you're still on top of everything. I mean, it just seems strange that you would wear this grey shirt.
Yeah.
Reflecting sort of a sour mood.
Like
it just leaves you a little thing. You're like, what does that mean?
Like a niggle?
Yeah. And you're like, I'll come back next week.
They plant seeds. To get return.
I think I'm trying to I was thinking about it today because I've given up on dating apps, and I was trying to articulate the experience of being on a dating app and why it doesn't work and what it feels like. They don't want you to actually meet someone, and so you end up meeting people that that's just not right. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't work, the people you meet. And this isn't it, but it just feels like this is what it's like. You arrange to meet someone on a dating app, you meet up, you sit down, and you're like, okay, they sort of look like their photos, not really. And you're like, hey, how are you? They're like, good, good. And then you start addressing some things. You're like, look, I couldn't help but notice you have a wooden leg instead of a real leg.
That was cropped out.
Yeah, I didn't notice that in the pictures, that you didn't have a leg,
Yeah.
but you have a wooden stump instead. And they're like, oh, yeah, some strange old photos, but sorry about that. I hope it's not a problem. And so that's okay. But I also noticed that you have an eye patch and a parrot. And, it just seems like you didn't mention that. And then, oh, well, yeah, this is, I wish I could have uploaded newer photos, but here we are and stuff. I hope it's not a problem. And you're like, oh, yeah, so you're a pirate. And they're like, I'm not a pirate. And you're like, well, it just seems like no, I'm not a pirate.
You are holding a dilapidated map.
And you've got a hook of a hand. No, I'm not a pirate. Okay, you're not a pirate. Cool. What do you do? Well, I work on ships out in the ocean, ships that are not governed by any municipality. They're just sort of out in the ocean, technically illegally, looking for treasure. Sounds like a pirate. I told you I'm not a pirate, and so on. And then you leave the date, and because she's better than the last, you could get this place to be like, well, she is a pirate, and she didn't mention that earlier, but even so, she's better than the compost heap that I dated. Because there was a woman I dated that just turned out to be just a pile of grass clippings
in a green bin. Yeah,
and so you go, well, she's better than that, and then you go, well, why don't we meet next week? And she goes, yeah, that'd be great. And then you get to next week and go, hey, are we still on for tomorrow? And they never respond. That's what I just said.
They're at sea.
They're out at sea
on an ill-fated voyage.
Ill-fated voyage, and can't be contacted because the government's trying to find them because they're clearly a pirate, even though they deny it.
Yeah.
That feels like dating apps to me, what I just described. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. It's weird with pirates now because there's Somali pirates.
Right,
but it's good to see cultural appropriation go the other way for once.
Right. They've taken a white cultural phenomena, pirates.
Yeah.
And now they're doing it.
They're doing it like medieval reenactment. Like they're reenacting.
We don't hear about that one much, do you?
Yeah.
When the Somalians take on white culture as pirates.
Yeah, and do mutinies and capsize kayaks or whatever they do.
And there's fucking Russian oligarchs in ships blasting them with cannons for fun.
Yeah.
They've got such hedonic adaptation that they're so bored that they want to blast Somali pilots out of the water.
Yeah, because their dopamine receptors are fried.
The dopamine receptors are fried.
Mine, I feel nothing except, like, I just feel like all I've got left is eating.
That's the only thing that brings you any
Yeah.
Mm.
Like I just feel like that's all I can get any pleasure out of.
Right.
Like I feel like like if you put an MRI neural link thing on my brain and a
Right.
scientist was looking at the brain waves, they'd be like, is that the birth of his firstborn? And it would just be me reheating a pad thai.
Right.
But it would map the same as like, but we've never seen this
Height
spike
level of happiness in
before.
enjoyment stimulation. Oh, it's a pad thai.
Yeah, we've never seen that kind of spike for a meal.
What I empathize with what you're saying so much. I feel like all I've got is food. Ideally, all I would do is eat food, and my life is simply about spacing out food.
Yeah,
And
arranging it.
And arranging it and timing it, and then turning down food that I shouldn't eat so that I don't die. Like, like can't just eat ice cream every day and stuff,
Forget about music. Like if I want to listen to a song, I've got to save up my dopamine for a few weeks.
Mm.
Then I listen to a bit and go, yeah, and then it's, that's one song.
Mm-hmm.
I popped it.
Yeah.
That's it. I feel like my dopamine receptors, they used to click into dopamine.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? They'd click.
Right.
They'd bind to it.
So there's like what is a dopamine receptor?
I think it just binds to the...
There's like a dopamine and then it lands into a receptor in your brain.
Just, like
and
a glove in a mitt, and it would make a satisfying like clink.
Mm.
And that'd be you listening to Nicki Minaj going, this is a great song.
Yeah.
Dancing and so on.
Right. I can't imagine
if
that
it clicks, you can dance.
Right.
Basically.
Mm.
Without MDMA.
Mm-hmm.
But now I just feel like my dopamine receptor, like the dopamine comes near it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll sit next to it.
Right.
But it'll be like a damp jigsaw puzzle.
Mm.
Like it'll just kind of be flaccidly like nestled against it.
So it's like an old man's flaccid cock just pushing against an ass cheek.
Basically.
That's what you're...
It's... I mean, that's
what your dopamine receptors are like.
Yeah, my dopamine receptors are like a dementia patient where they can recognize their son but can't connect with them anymore.
Right.
They're like that Malcolm.
But I feel like this would be a lot of people.
Yeah.
I feel that way too. Wouldn't you say it's a cultural phenomena? The dopamine, shall we say the dopamine drought of society where vaping, pornography, hyper intense sugary foods, drugs.
Is that what chisels away
drugs.
at the receptors?
Well,
to make them nuts?
I assume that dopamine, having a lack of dopamine is essentially about abusing the receptors with hyperstimulation, and hyperstimulation are the things I just mentioned that just in the 1920s or whatever, they'd be like, oh my God, it's a sunset. Whereas now we're like, I just took a huge dose of nicotine and I'm on MDMA while I'm masturbating, watching Netflix, but also got pornography on my phone and I'm getting a massage and eating my curry.
Yeah. I'm watching a porno going, hey, I think this deserves more views. You just, It's like people say that they find themselves to go, like they'll go to a craft afternoon to really express and find out who they are. They'll paint with cork and chrome. And I find out more about myself by going to a buffet.
Right.
Because I'm putting Nutella on a curry and just being like, I need therapy. Like I need to sort this out.
Right.
Like I've got problems.
Right. So you're saying that the dopamine stimulation of a buffet is like where you go, whoa, okay, I'm learning something about myself here.
A buffet is one of the few things that can get me into that mode of like dancing to Nicki Minaj.
Oh, I see. So you're enjoying yourself at the buffet because you're dipping prawns in gelato.
Yeah, it's like a reverse sommelier. Like whatever the opposite of a sommelier is, where they pair things that are congruous.
The idea of you enjoying yourself at a buffet by just shoving random things together like pasta and focaccia bread, mixing that in with, just high fructose strawberry syrup from the dessert bar.
Yeah.
And then dancing is a great image for me.
Well, I do dance, but it's more like it's like a spiral where I like circle myself. Like
Right.
you know when you're like a dog chasing your tail because you're like, should I go savory? Fuck. Like, are they running out of sliders?
Like you're going
You
back
know?
and forth between savoury and sweet at the buffet? Because
Yeah.
I've done that a lot.
Yeah, that's when you know you've got no dopamine left, eh?
Right, I see.
Because if you had proper dopamine like you could you just do something like go clubbing or something.
Right, I see what you mean, yeah.
It's like I see when you ever be at a cafe, someone will start singing along to the ambient music.
Right.
They're like, I'm coming up, like they're singing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you fuck.
Because they've got more
pristine.
dopamine, yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
binding.
With the pornography thing, tell me if you think this is a fair observation. Do you think that black porn actors, because obviously they're just African American,
Yeah.
you know, if they're, because most porn is American.
It's rare.
Sometimes you
It's
get some
not.
weird European shit where there's a woman playing a cello. But
Yeah.
mostly it's just like, you know, it's American porn. And the black American actors, this is just an observation.
Yeah,
I believe enjoy
Sometimes you watch Hungarian, there's a woman in a wheelchair playing the harpsichord, an accordion, wearing a lanyard. And you're like, fuck.
This is high level, like artistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
you
they're
could
looking at a
submit this for the
painting.
Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah, before he pounds her ass. then it becomes
Yeah.
something else. But black porn actors enjoy porn. The actual, you know, scene
Yeah.
more than white. That's
Yes.
just I haven't. This sounds like an American bit that like a black comic or a white American comic would do, and maybe someone has. But to me, when I watch the black guys in the scene, they're like, woo.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, yeah, woo, woo. All right. They're like really, they're high-fiving, they're talking, they're commentating on what's happening. Whereas white guys just seem really frustrated. They're like, fucking,
Yeah.
you know, like there's like a pent-up frustration.
Yeah. I feel like black dudes enjoy porn the same way bogans enjoy a buffet.
At the Virgin Lounge.
Yeah. You know, when you
ironically.
see like a miner in high vis with like the
Right.
sunglasses on their head, that's the sign that, you know, they're going to enjoy a buffet. When the
Right.
sunglasses are on the head inside, they're going to be like, fuck, 20 mini pies. Like they give directors commentary on it. They're like, the beer is free.
Yeah.
It's free.
Fucking this cheese as well. All right.
Yeah, they talk about it. They're like, you can keep going. They can't stop you.
Oh my God, get up and have another one.
It's like
Like that,
Wakanda
yeah.
for bogans.
Right. The Virgin Lounge is like Wakanda for bogans.
Yeah. Do you know it's like a utopian world?
Right.
All it's missing is jet skis. Like
Yeah.
they should have a jet ski part where you can go.
You can just rev it in a pool of water.
Yeah.
So it just goes run and just splashes against, like it's self-contained jet ski rev.
Yeah.
They're like, fucking get a jet ski rev, pick up a bit of cheese and another fucking beer.
A
They're like,
Japanese
yeah.
pond, like a Japanese pond, and you just rev it.
And you're just saying that's like a gangbang of black men in porn going like, yeah, all right. Oh,
It's
yeah.
just the appreciation of.
They're happy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I see because then I like at the Virgin Lounge you'll see the dude that is like on an Excel spreadsheet doing a bar graph. Do you know what I mean? He's not even touching the buffet.
Right.
You know those people? They just come in. Maybe they have like a Pellegrino.
Because they're on something, they're in some wellness thing where they can't eat the food at the buffet anyway because it's not good enough or organic or whatever.
Yeah, but they'll just use the space.
Right. Because they're waiting for the next business flight.
Yeah.
Whereas Terry's like, come back from the mines, fucking.
Terry's
time for,
like,
yeah, Crown Lager.
they talk. They're like, this sandwich, man, is cheese, pickles. You can keep going. There's no limit. And then the other guy's like, fuck yeah, there is no limit, eh? Like, you know, like
Right.
they're basically just it's the best time of their life.
Yeah, I understand it. I mean, in the sense that it does seem free.
But I like what you're saying that the white dude in the porno is like the Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Like
he's like the guy who's can't enjoy because he's busy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's basically just uploading a bar graph to the iCloud while he bums
Right.
someone.
Right. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Like the frustrated porn white guy.
He's like, just send the email.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Fucking executive won't get back to me.
Mailer demon? Fuck. Like they get the email gets sent
Yeah.
back immediately.
It's a strange joining together of worlds we've done there.
Yeah. It's hard to know what's gibberish and what's not. Speaking of gibberish, I can't remember passwords. I just have a great deal of problem, like just speaking of internet and everything. Like
Right, yeah,
the whole
right.
thing, the whole internet just ruins your short-term attention span. But then it's either ruining your attention span or asking you to remember an incredibly detailed password.
Right, yeah.
Which doesn't seem fair.
Because they've destroyed your attention span, they've destroyed your focus, and then they're like, and what's your password for this?
And it's so frustrating because every time I log in, I have to change my password. So it's like my password is like a virus because when I forget it, it mutates.
Right, so it's just getting more and more complicated.
I've used every unique symbol.
Right.
I had to get a swastika added to my keyboard.
Yeah, I got a swastika added to my keyboard too, but for different reasons.
Well, I just want to watch Netflix.
Right, I see, yeah. So you've forgotten your password so many times, it's gotten so complicated you have to add a swastika character.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just to meet the quota for unique characters. I've used all the hieroglyphics. I'm at that point of burnout where I've exhausted the symbols. And it's incredibly annoying. Like I've started transitioning into a guy called Greg Lamone.
Right.
Because I'm locked out of so many streaming accounts. I've had to create a new identity. I don't identify with Greg. It's just I have to watch TV.
Right. So if you want to watch Ozarks, you have to pretend to be Greg.
Yeah. So I sign in as Greg.
So you have his email and his
I got
details.
a SIM card just to be him.
Right. So just so you can log into things.
Yeah.
So you need to be a different identity.
I'm getting texts like, "Hey, Greg, like, welcome to your account."
Right.
And stuff. Your account is ready, Greg. Why are you leaving us, Greg?
I wonder if that'll get worse as time goes on, like as we become more integrated with technology. Like,
well, sometimes I like I'm at this point I'm so isolated. The only people who are wishing me happy birthday are global corporations.
Right. I see what you mean. Yeah, because you get that text. Yeah.
Like at like 12:01 on my birthday, the only message I get is from Foot Locker saying happy birthday, Dan.
Right. 12:01, right on time.
Right on time.
Any of your family or friends.
So it's like the CEO's staying up late, just
Personally.
an email.
Yeah.
Because you left an impression on them.
We remember you, Dan. You came in 2017 for a pair of joggers.
Yeah, you
happy
needed
birthday. Has anyone else sent you a birthday wishes? No, they forget. Well, we didn't here at Foot Locker.
I'm serious. It'll just be like Foot Locker 1 year. No one else.
Like Foot Locker 1 year, Vodafone the next.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, we know it's your birthday, but you also owe us money.
Yeah, that's kind of a mixed.
Yeah.
I remember like I went to this gym and I logged, you've got like a key card and you log in. And no one had wished me happy birthday yet. It was late in the afternoon. So like there'd been time. And
good, nice detail.
I you scan it and it goes beep, beep, beep. This one made a weird noise.
Right.
Like as if, do you know what I mean? Because any noise that isn't beep, 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 makes you think you've been rejected.
Right, I see.
But what it was actually was it had been encoded to make a happy birthday jingle.
Oh.
So it was dun, 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 but I thought it was just rejecting me like down, 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 down. So I go, am I right to come in? And she's like, yeah, it's been encoded with a jingle.
So your gym remembered your birthday.
Yeah.
And gave you like a nice little acknowledgement and present.
Which, because I'm in such debt and stuff and owe everyone money, I've misinterpreted as my card's been rejected from the payment system.
Which would be also probably perfectly reasonable.
So the real birthday present was the relief of knowing my membership was intact.
Right.
Like, I was like, I can use the facilities today. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Happy birthday.
That's how fucked my life is. You know that movie Limitless where there's that drug?
Yeah.
They're designing that drug now.
Yeah, they're trying to design drugs that are, put your peak performance and increase the blood flow to your brain to make you like this high functioning.
Self-actualize. Like what if you take this drug that they're developing, you will reach the pinnacle of your potential.
Right.
And if I took that drug, I would just lodge my first tax return, register to vote, and not eat dishwashing tablets.
Right. So just regular shit that any living human does every day.
Yeah, it could be like a government-sponsored ad for how to be a citizen.
So you're going from so dysfunctioning to taking a high profile, like high level drug that activates your brain's highest levels.
Yeah.
And you just like log into MyGov and check your messages for the first time.
Yeah.
Realize you've got a tax return due that's 17 years old.
And you reply to it.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm getting on this today because I'm actually stimulated.
I'm on Limitless, the new drug that they've developed.
Mm.
I can get a bus without my carer. I'm on Limitless. I'm going free solo.
Get a bus without my carer.
I'm going to the Hoyts Megaplex solo.
Going free solo.
I'm going to see Free Solo, the movie Solo, for the first time.
Is that what that Rockline movie was called, Free Solo?
Yeah. I'm going unaided. Getting the Coke, holding the Coke, sipping the Coke.
As opposed to someone doing it for you.
Yeah. Through a straw that becomes a catheter through the bottom. And I feel like they should do that at the cinema, make the straw keep going down and become a catheter, and you've just got like a colostomy bag just full of piss. But it's just, do you know what I mean? But make it cool. Like, oh, you're watching Oppenheimer, you will need to piss if you get the colossal Coke.
I see. So you don't have to miss anything.
Yeah, you don't miss that pivotal moment.
Right. That's that would be actually really handy.
But you're arrogant about it. You're like, man, I got a piss sack, dickhead. Like you own it. Like you're a gangster about it. It's like, it's my fucking sack.
Yeah. It's
like, I can watch Oppenheimer.
I got a piss sack, idiot.
Where the fuck are you going to take a piss, you fucking idiot?
Fucking wanker.
I'm doing Ron right now.
Yeah.
With a neutral facial expression.
This is Ron Howard's new film. I'm doing a piss in my piss sack, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, you just own it.
Yeah. I'm doing a piss in my piss sack, you fucking idiot. Like strong, yeah.
Where do you think this colossal Coke is going? Have you noticed I've been sitting here for 3 hours?
They keep making movies longer. They ought to add, they give you the 3D glasses. They should give you a piss sack.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good combo, the 3D glasses and the piss sack.
Little weird disposable things you take in and so
you got
on.
The 3D goggles, you got the colossal Coke, which turns into a colostomy bag. The straw keeps going down. It becomes a catheter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have to bring your carer. You just drink.
Oh, man.
My carer won't allow me to drink coffee because it hyperstimulates me.
Right.
So I wear a shirt that says, don't talk to me until I've been shocked by a cattle prod.
What's the cattle prod do?
Wakes you up.
Because you haven't had coffee?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, so she's with me from the moment she unlatches my cage door to the moment she shoots me with a tranquilizer dart and captures me with a net. She's just there.
The net with the net.
The net with a net. That's how I watched it.
So just I just want to just clarify for the listeners that might have just sort of be wondering where we're going with this. Dan sleeps in a cage and has a carer wake him up every morning to open the cage door and care for him. He's not allowed caffeine, so instead he gets a cattle prod.
I get a cattle prod.
And then he gets put to sleep at night by a tranquilizer dart. So have I got that right?
Yeah.
Just in case people were lost.
It's kind of like someone who's repossessing a reptile, like they throw a net over it. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. Hey. Oh, like they're dancing.
Yeah, right. And that's your everyday.
Yeah. And then
somewhere in there you do a gig and so on.
Somewhere in the day I get a gig in there. But she whispers in my ear after the net goes over me, that'll do, pig. Clever girl.
Right. A couple of the classics. Clever girl. That'll do, pig.
Then I get 8 hours of REM.
Not like this.
Yeah.
It's another good one.
Not like this.
You know what I hate about TikTok comedians is that they think they can do stand-up now. And you know what they want? They want to be able to do stand-up well and just, they just want the skill. They want the skill because everything's just so instant now. And it reminds me of Neo in The Matrix.
Yeah.
Wants to be a kung fu master.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the generation today.
Yeah.
Is they want to be instant kung fu masters. They want to plug in the back.
Yeah.
Download kung fu. Boom. Kung fu. And what I'm saying is Morpheus without friction. Morpheus was a good father figure. He'd go, no, doing it the long way. 20 years, start training. Left, right, hook. You know what I mean? Instead of the...
Yeah. That is like such a good analogy for
It is, yeah.
a TikTok star. They just upload the video from the room.
Right.
Because Neo just stays in one room and learns Kung Fu.
Right.
Like he doesn't have to go to tournaments and catch a plane to Roma.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're saying with the TikTok, they don't have to get flights and stuff. And
right. We're traveling around the country doing the shittiest gigs.
Yeah, they're not
perpetually for a decade.
They don't have to get in a van with a magician and go to Townsville.
Right. Yes.
Or what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're in their room.
Yeah, and they're just up there doing the Neo version. You know?
Yeah.
Well, they want to anyway.
Soon they'll just phone into gigs as holograms.
Yeah.
So they don't have to leave.
Do you think we'll look back at our time as comedians having slogged it out and go like, be a bit like, oh, did we just, it's kind of like the footy players that played when you were allowed just to punch people in the fucking head and knock them out.
Yeah.
And then they discovered concussions and now they ban all that because it's like, oh shit, it's brain damage. When you get older, you'll be fucking brain damaged.
Yeah.
You'll have like a horrible, will we be like that as comedians? Like, well, we used to travel around and just do it the hard way. Now you can just download it.
Yeah.
Do it instantly.
That'll be like, I'm performing in France at the moment as a hologram. Like as I talk to you, like, it'll be, like you used to have to get on a bus.
Yeah.
And a train and.
Yeah. You used to have to stay with, disenfranchised, mentally ill, alcoholic Scottish people in Edinburgh and share a room because it was so expensive, and then perform 6 nights a week.
You had to piss in
for
a bottle.
month.
You had to piss in a bottle in your room because you didn't want to have any small talk on the way to the bathroom. Because there was an alcoholic Scotsman playing the bagpipes.
He'd play the bagpipes and drink whiskey and then read his reviews from the Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
And you're just pissing in a bottle so you don't have to make small talk.
Yeah, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to go to the Edinburgh Festival and have choice paralysis over which Harry Potter improv troupe to see.
You just do something funny, a funny voice down the phone, but you do it every day for the algorithm at the right time.
Yeah, without any friction whatsoever.
It's fucking bullshit.
And you'll be like, why did I get all that travel?
Years off your life.
I remember seeing a movie, like you're talking about bitterness, seeing a movie where Clint Eastwood was a cop and like a robbery broke out and he's so sick of, do you know what I mean? So grizzled as a veteran. He's eating like a steak sandwich and he just starts shooting the dude, but he keeps eating it.
Wow.
And that reminds me of like a bitter club
comic
MC where they're eating like a Wagyu.
Right before they go on.
Right before they go on and they're chewing as they introduce acts.
Yeah, it's just like that famous story of I forget his name. I won't say his name, but he's not great. He's a legendary club comic of that stature. And he burped on stage once, went, sorry, I got a bloody belly full of prawns. Yeah. It's that kind of thing. Got a belly full of prawns.
Yeah. Because he's not timing his meals anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
There's no adrenaline?
No. Because it's hard to eat before a gig. But when you no longer care, you just have a belly full of prawns and you get up there and this next act.
That's what I thought when Clint Eastwood was eating a steak sandwich as he shot a guy in the back.
It made you think of comedy.
Yeah. That's what it ends up as. Like you're just eating a Reuben sandwich, just shooting someone in the back.
Yeah.
And you feel nothing.
On that note, we should wrap up. I will say that my special's coming out on October 24th. And yours is coming out soon too, eh? Do you have a date?
It might come out, yeah. No, there's no date.
There's no date, but there is one coming out. So that if they check the online,
could be in there, could be out there.
All right,
Oppenheimer Part 2.
Yeah, it's 4 hours long. All right. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll be back again soon.